Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, in our Tonight Show, we're going to be talking about sports. So stay tuned and listen all we have to say about this incredible world that are sports. Well, first of all, why do people go to see live sports when they can just enjoy it from their television in their homes? That's a great question. I think personally that the reason people do this is because they enjoy going out there with their friends. Because friends is a big part of humans. So when there's a match, people don't usually go alone. They tend to go with friends, which is really good because then they can interact with each other, they can make bonds, and they can have a lot of fun. Also, it is really important that in most of the games, for example, football, the people from the same team sits in the same area. This is in team sports. So you're not really just with your friends, you are with your whole team, all the people that are from your team. And that makes a sense of belonging, which can be really beneficial for a lot of people. Now, let's go over a question that is more personal. Is do I play sport? The answer? Of course I do. I play tons of sports, but the ones I focus more are volleyball and going to the gym, if that can be considered a sport. Let's talk a bit about volleyball. Well, volleyball it's a sport where you throw the ball around basically and try that it doesn't hit the floor. Pretty easy, right? I've been playing it since last year because I discovered it, and I really love it right now. It just gives me this sense that I'm good at something, and it really helps me keeping up with my life. Also, when you play volleyball, you are on your field, so like there's a net in between the both teams, and you're not supposed to go over it. So you have your safe space where only your team is there. So you are with your friends on your space, and they don't bother you that much. Of course, they throw you the ball, but that's not the same as if in other sports where they hit you or they push you, things like that. I don't really feel comfortable with that. That's why I love volleyball, basically. I do it 3 times a week. I go practice and then I have a match on the weekends. The match could be either in Bodilla or I have to go to other places in Madrid. Sometimes you have to go really far, but I think it's worth it because really enjoy playing it and I have a lot of fun when I do. So this is the sports. And I also go to the gym, but it's not that often. I try to go maybe twice or 3 times a week so I can keep in shape and also help with volleyball. Now, I personally love sports, but should they be mandatory in schools so that everyone has to do it? Well, it's a great question. Some people think that it's not good to force children into doing things. But I personally think that they should play sports when they are kids because then that would help them when they are adults and it really maintains your fitness so that you don't get problems when you are old, and also it really helps you with getting along with your class. Maybe if you play some fun games with your classmates, then you get to know them and you make friends. It's really a nice way to break the ice. So I think that it should be mandatory in school, but they shouldn't be really serious about it, meaning very strict or being putting some requirements that are maybe hard to accomplish by some kids. So I think that there should be a balance in between. In my country, Spain, the most popular sport by far is football. You can see tons of people playing it, ranging from little kids that may don't even have more than 2 years, going all the way to adults that might be 60 or 50 years old. They all love football. I personally don't, but I think that it's a big part of our culture. People go to see matches all the time, and on the weekends, if there's a match, They gather in houses, they eat, they hang out with their friends. So it's really important for social gatherings, the sport in our country. I've talked before about the relationship between schools and sport. It's really important that kids play sports in school, but there's another part to it. There's the competitive sport, because tons of students are also competitive sport players. So you have to ask yourself, is it really that hard to be playing a competitive sport and to be studying in school? Well, from my experience, it kind of is, because it takes up a ton of time from your free time, your sport, so that you don't have that much time maybe to study at school or to do the homework. And it also goes the other way around, because the school, if you have a really important exam and you cannot go to practice, then your coach will be angry with you, and it doesn't really help you doing both at the same time. I think that there should be more like facilities in school. For example, allowing students that are competing to skip some exams, or like they have some kind of extra help. But in the situation right now, it is really hard to be a competitive player in a sport and also be studying. Now, let's go to the big question. Do governments spend too much money on sports? I mean, you see all the stadiums full, all the cars, all the police that they have to mobilize, and all the things that and all the resources that they spend for games. Is that really worth it? Well, it's kind of hard to answer, because it won't help the country healthcare or education go up, but it does help our society in some ways. First, people are more relaxed and they can enjoy more their life when they have some sports, because it really helps them. Second, it motivates people into doing sport and moving their body, which is healthy for them, so that the government has to spend less money on healthcare, because less people will die of heart diseases and things like that. And also, sports can help the economy of the country, because foreigners come in. For example, when we have a really important game in Spain, tons of people come from outside just to see the game, which helps the economy, because all the shops around the city and everything has more tourists, so that really helps. I think that was everything that we could talk about sports, and I really hope you like it. That's it.